I wonder if I should start it like this. Today we have a 1994... Uh-oh. Oh, that's green, isn't it?
Eagle, fighter of the regal. It's the car you choose when Mitsubishi Eclipse is not alt enough for you.
1994 Eagle Talon TSI. Turbo 1GB. It's dad time again. Time for dad. I'm your dad. I don't want you driving any of that import crap. Eagle. I remember Eagles. Freedom. Eagle was the name of a 4x4 station wagon made by American Motor Company. Freedom. Then, when Chrysler, Freedom, acquired AMC, it kept the Eagle name, Merle Haggard, and used it for their cars, Flag Day. Now, if you want to be cool, you'll call this car a DSM. You won't call it an Eagle Talon or a Mitsubishi Eclipse. No, you're going to call this a DSM car. DSM stands for Diamond Star Motors. DSM was an overturned cardboard box with the word transmogrifier written on the side, and a captured Mitsubishi Eclipse goes in, and then zap, out comes a Chrysler. This Eagle Talon TSI has a Mitsubishi 14B turbocharger, an intercooler, which boosts the 2.0-liter 4G63 four-cylinder double-cam engine from 130 horsepower to 190 horsepower. Corey has made a few things to his DSM, so it's making more in the 200 horsepower range. The 1GB suffix to this Talon's name means that this car is a first-generation post-facelift. The first-generation pre-facelift 1GA DSM had pop-up headlights, while this 1GB doesn't. This front-wheel drive Steven Seagal gets 30 miles per gallon on the highway, provided you don't drive it like an idiot. Those are the owner's words, not mine, but I imagine it's common sense when you're dealing with a car from 1994. The clutch is very heavy, and it's put on this earth to give you a hard time, like a Brazzers subscription you can't cancel. This is the official car of Magic the Gathering and long walks in the cemetery. By 2019, the passage of time will have judged this car as a classic. And yet, this car feels as esoteric today as the word roughage. This car is a way station to the next phase of your automotive life. When you're waiting to meet the one you'll disappoint for the rest of your life, it isn't a bad car, man, but come on, she won't understand. She's not gonna get your love. Because it's beyond her capacity to understand why a man would love this. She doesn't get this, like she doesn't get your porn selection. She doesn't get why you need MIRC to get off. If this car were vintage, sure, that would be understandable, but no one is going to look at a car from 1994 and all the Super Nintendo connotations that it carries. And they're not going to understand about why you're nostalgic for this time period. And yet, you know why you love it. You know why you love the Talon more than the Eclipse. Like transmogrification, it's something that only you can see. You get it. And you know why we don't have to go over why 1994 was such an amazing year. The Eagle Talon is perfect for taking your girl out to Longhorn Steakhouse and then straight back home for a hot Carl candy cane or a New Jersey meat hook. You know, whichever one suits her mood. This is like driving the lambskin condom. You don't think anybody actually used it, and yet here it is, doing the Lord's work. You're in something no one ever uses anymore, unless they have an aversion to what's out there in the mainstream. 1994 Eagle Talon, when the Mitsubishi Eclipse isn't alt enough for you. Speaking of alternatives, what's up with these little lines of decoration on the dash piece? They look like an expansion joint. This is the only thing that's very un-90s about this car. See, 90s interior designs don't have fake expansion joints just for show. They don't have anything just for show. That's one of the reasons we like 90s cars so much, is because the inside is so no frills. The early 90s buried 80s excess, even in car interiors. You know, the 90s. You know, back in the 90s, I masturbated to nothing in particular. I mean, in the background was What Would You Do by Mark Summers on a black and white RCA Victor television to drown out the sounds of my aimless biology pie coaster. Nom nom nummy num, nummy 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 num, time for a num tongue. Eagle Talon.
What would you, what porn would you watch? What porn would